Idaho murders. A grad student at a nearby school is arrested in the killings of 4 University of Idaho students. A graduate student at Washington State University was arrested Friday in his home state of Pennsylvania in last month's killings of 4 University of Idaho students in their off-campus home, a brutal attack that rattled a small college town, authorities said. A criminal complaint charging Brian Kohberger, 28, with 4 counts of murder in the first degree, as well as felony burglary, was filed Thursday, Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson said in a news conference Friday afternoon in Idaho. Authorities narrowed their focus to Kohberger after tracing his ownership of a white Hyundai Elantra seen in the area. Of the killings, according to 2 law enforcement sources briefed on the investigation, Kohberger's DNA has also been matched to genetic material recovered at the off-campus house where the students were stabbed to death, according to the sources. Genetic genealogy helped investigators identify the suspect, a source with knowledge of the case said. DNA found in Idaho was taken through a public database to find potential matches for family members, the source said. Once potential family matches were found, subsequent investigative work by law enforcement led to the identification of Kohberger, according to the source. Authorities who were trying to find him learned the suspect had left the area and went to Pennsylvania, the 2 law enforcement sources said. An FBI surveillance team from the Philadelphia field office had been tracking him for 4 days in the area where he was arrested, according to the sources. While he was being watched, investigators from the Moscow Police Department, the Idaho State Police Homicide Bureau, and the FBI worked with prosecutors to develop sufficient probable cause to obtain the warrant. Once the arrest warrant was issued, the Pennsylvania State Police and the FBI made the arrest. Moscow Police Department Chief James Fry said at the news conference an Elantra has been located, but investigators are still looking for the knife used in the killings. He didn't reveal any details about the case, including when the suspect became the focus of the investigation or whether he knew the 4 students who were killed. These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students, Fry said. However, we do believe justice will be found through the criminal process. Fry said it was a very complex, extensive case. We developed a clear picture over time, he said, but be assured that the work is not done. This has just started. Authorities at the news conference asked the public to keep calling the tip line with information. After the suspect returns to Idaho, a probable cause affidavit used to obtain the arrest warrant will be unsealed. Records show Kohberger was arraigned Friday morning in Pennsylvania, and he has a court hearing on extradition January 3. Thompson said the suspect is being held without bail, and he is being represented while in Pennsylvania by a public defender. Because the suspect was arrested in Pennsylvania, he has the opportunity to waive extradition and return to Idaho voluntarily. If he chooses not to return voluntarily, Moscow police will initiate extradition proceedings through the governor's office, Fry said. If we do that, it can take a while for him to get here, he said. Case shocked small college town. The November 13 killings riveted the nation and shocked the small college town of Moscow, its first murder in 7 years. The case prompted fear and anxiety in the community and student body, and questions mounted about the pace of the police investigation. Moscow resident Erin Staheli became emotional while expressing her relief at the news of the arrest. It's just been very scary not knowing who's out there, Staheli said, noting the fear which has permeated the town of almost 26,000 residents for weeks. I had doubts that the killer would be caught because it's been so long, you know. Staheli praised the work of the police agencies and FBI for the arrest. I knew that they would, but it's just taking so long, and I'm so happy for their families and everybody that's been worried that all the students, everybody that may not have come back to school, she said. The arrest comes a day after police said they have received about 20,000 tips through more than 9,025 emails, 4,575 phone calls, and 6,050 digital media submissions, while having conducted over 300 interviews. The slain students, Kaylee Goncalves, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Kernadal, 20, and Kernadle's boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, 20, were likely asleep when they were each stabbed multiple times in the early morning hours, authorities have said. Some of the victims had defensive wounds, a coroner has said. Today's news of arrest is a welcome one. It's relief to our university, our community, and our extended Vandal family, University of Idaho President Scott Green said at the news conference. The outpouring of support over the past 6 weeks helped sustain us during the most trying time. The home where the killings occurred will be cleaned up but remain an active crime scene under police control, authorities said Thursday. Work at the property was halted Friday due to a court order, the police chief said. Moscow police say they have worked with a property management services company to remove potential biohazards and other harmful substances used to collect evidence, the update said. The home will be turned over to the property management company,